As I try to grasp where I am, I feel its image slipping, where the words to give character have a subtle nuance that there needs to be immediate placement or they are worthless. Having gone all the way to the edge, it's as if I have reached the other side, and in this far off place is somehow a middle between what two we would call opposite. Though being the middle of both edges, so to speak, the middle seems not to be here. For what side are we on? Now I know not how low those are in the high places. Perhaps not low enough in a high place to be low, in the low, but those high in the low are pretty low still. Where then again, though, this place has projected heights, those high places seem to be as high as the low places. For in the high places you are low to those things of a high place. Now, what I mean by this is thus that though this place calls itself the West Coast, I see the east, and farther off another coast. Then by that time, what's port and starboard, but it yet again, where then I fail to reach the next coast along these lines is to have another place that calls itself the edge, but again has an expanse beyond it on its shores. Where then I say that this place is the middle of these two places, for I see a meeting, and one calling it one has a hard time saying that the other isn't here in great influence. Though this is accomplished in a means by statute and then characters of another kind in their folds, speaking plainly of then sign language and who I see walking around the signs. Then, in accordance to where a high place and low place here is, I say those on high are low, for what is a man subject to on the mountain but foraging? Until the mountain is brought low, and there are then places for many things on the mountain, as there is no king of the hill, as then the high place has a system of exchange that is like a low place where no one is high, and all are as low in the use of a shared tool owned by none. Then, though, there are high places of a low nature in this low, and high places of a high nature in this low. The high places of a high nature, though, in this low place, have not a low enough place for someone to be high on, for in that place the person is too low to be high. Then the high places of a low nature in this low are lower than the high places of a high nature, making them subject to things of a high nature. But the things of a high nature place them too low to have any height. This is seen as one climbs stairs or walks up a side hill, for what does one have over the other in either? For one in each sees what the other is as greater, giving then each no height over the other, as what does one own here, but in being owned by the other side. I then say these things, and having seen so much, that what more does one say but this, when the feeling of having to say something about any of it makes one feel like so little has been said.